4 months. That's how long I've been stuck sitting here, staring at the same old evidence, night after night. It's how long I've been frozen, tormented, and without sleep.
Today's the day, huh?
Yes. It's the anniversary, to the date. 4 months. I've been working on this case, Camelot. It's the longest I've ever gone.
This isn't your typical case.
No, those I can solve in an hour, a day tops. But this case, however, the big fish still eludes me, no matter how much of my time or effort I pour into it.
Distance tests a horse's strength. Time tests a person's character.
That dreaded feeling of failure washes over me every time I stare down at these photographs. I was overworked and out of my league when Kane asked me for help. Someone had been leaving threatening letters on her doorstep for the past couple of weeks. None promised violence, only humiliation. Yet, Kane was spooked.
Paige, why couldn't you save me? When a person moves a mountain, they start by carrying small stones.
If life had superlatives, Camelot would win for most likely to become a motivational speaker. Yet, despite the superfluous proverb, her message holds weight. Perhaps I should be looking at each piece of evidence individually, starting with the guilty party. Before her untimely death, Violet Kane had asked me to find out who had been anonymously threatening her reputation. And while the case paralleled I Know What You Did Last Summer too much for my liking, I thought I'd found the sender. Jane Aspen, a local painter, had been hired by Kane weeks prior to her death.
You call me a lot of things, but a murderer and stalker isn't one of them.
Word is, Kane gave her a key to the home and a hell of a fire.
You see, when most people hire me, they look at me as a regular schmuck. Somebody without a university degree, a shred of talent or money, a blue-collar con. But Violet always treated me like an artist. She was the best employer I'd ever had.
So she didn't fire you?
No, and I don't know where you got that idea from. Violet and I were on great terms before she conveniently didn't have enough money to pay her rent.
Violet Kane didn't have enough money to pay her rent. That woman wore Yves Saint Laurent mascara and ate caviar for breakfast.
Precisely my point. To tell me she was scrapped for money was the biggest insult she could have ever given me. I was painting her room for Christ's sakes. The woman was not living the frugal life.
Miss Kane told me she gave you a key. Did you have access to the house at any time?
Yes, I had access, and yes, she gave me a key, but I gave it back to her the day she told me she couldn't pay me. I even left my paint cans. It's a shame to waste them. They were a beautiful shade of crimson red. I was just so angry, I couldn't even look at her.
While Aspen's testimony provides an interesting look into Kane's last few hours, it does little to convince me of her innocence. When I met Kane, she was more than willing to pay extra for my services, not to mention that of Caesar Caspian's, her dog walker.
Violet was one of my favorite people in the world. She was always so kind and generous, especially to Benji, her dog. He just has this aura of love and happiness. You can tell he came from a really good home.
Right. I'll be sure to jot that down, Ms. Caspian. Not to sound abrasive, but why did you ask me here, miss?
Well, the police are doing a rotten job of investigating Violet's death. I mean, they won't listen to me or Benji. Both of us were there when Violet was arguing with that awful woman. And to think, the morning of her death?
You saw Kane with a woman hours before I discovered her body?
That's what I've been trying to tell everyone. I saw Violet and wanted to help at each other's throats at around 8 a.m. Sounded like she was firing her.
Do you know what this person looked like or who she was?
I was Violet's best friend. Of course I know who it was. I knew she hired you, didn't I? Her name is Jane. Aspen. Oh, she's a nasty sort. The morning of, she practically ran me over trying to get out of that house. Violet was so upset, she gave me $100 to walk Benji for another hour. Needed a break, I guess.
Albeit an unnerving person, Caesar's testimony seemed to line up with the evidence I had compiled. After all, Aspen had both motive and access. Her profession also explained why I had found a crimson red handprint on Kane's bathtub. But it still doesn't explain some of the other clues. The ashes on the floor, the sickly smell of cinnamon, or the empty space on Kane's bookshelf. According to Caspian, Kane kept a jewelry box up there. An odd thing for a dog walker to notice, but not as odd as the alibi Aspen provided me with. An incredibly difficult person to track down, I found Margot stationed outside the town's local hole-in-the-wall pub.
Yeah, I met with Jane the day of February 5th. I remember because that's the day I started working here. My favorite hangout. I just started, but all my coworkers do it, so why not, right? Anyways, we met for lunch, and then she had to go for some job at, say, 12-ish?
Aspen's alibi friend was unreliable at best, and her smoker's cough left something to be desired. Yet, despite the evidence, there's still something that holds me back. Perhaps it's my guilt or lack of sleep, or perhaps it's the knowledge I came too late.
Paige, I think I found something, but I'm not sure what it means. I suppose I should leave the investigating up to you. Come as soon as you can. I'm at home.
The voicemail plays on repeat in my head, the soundtrack to my guilt. Kane begs me to help her, to stop the Reaper, but I can't. All I can do is listen to the pleas and the cough, the pleas and the cough, the pleas and the... Cough! A smoker's cough. The ashes, the cinnamon gum.